All right, guys, we're back for another review, and I decided to take out a bottle that's been sitting for a while, and talk about a new branch of tequila, which is this was a gift. I'm very, very happy that anybody gives me a tequila gift, even if it is a tequila that is not my favorite. I'm still happy about it. I have no idea what my friend paid for at a liquor store for this bottle. I was happy to get it. This has been eons ago, long before I started trying various blancos. I'm going to call it Key Tequila, Key. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced. But I was a little surprised when I got it because I got the bottle and I was like, extra añejo, but it's a platinum. And I was like, I've never seen an aged tequila that was still clear. And at that time, I didn't realize what crystalinos were. Interesting. And this is one of those things about like tasting notes. If I was a wine connoisseur and I had tried hundreds of wines, you develop more of like a flavor profile. It's why sommeliers are able to discern, oh, this is a German or a French wine. This is from Australia. This is from Merlot. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Like, I can pick up flavor notes out of this that I couldn't previously. But we're gonna pour some of this and try it out. And essentially, my confusion was añejos normally have a color, sort of like caramel, kind of a deeper color there, and they are aged in wood. They pick up flavor notes from the wood just like a bourbon or a whiskey does, which I've learned over time I don't like as much. The Cristalinos are interesting because it seems like what they're doing is they're aging it in barrels and then somehow putting it through a filtration process to clean it up, if you will, which is almost like taking sugar, caramelizing it, and then removing some of the dark qualities so that you get a crystalline looking sugar that still has some caramelized flavor, maybe. It's about the easiest way I can explain it. Let me check on their website and see. The world's first premium extra añejo tequila, additive free. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Separating itself from the rest, Key Tequila, the world's first platinum extra añejo, embodies the beautifully rich flavor, aroma, and character of extra aged tequila, but with an incredibly smooth finish. It's aged for more than 3.5 years in American whiskey and French Bordeaux barrels. It goes on a proprietary filtration and distillation for the smoothest finish in the world. With notes of vanilla, butterscotch, and a hint of oak, Key won the gold medal at the Spirits of America competition as the best extra añejo tequila judged. It's got some interesting information about it. And this is going to be interesting because this information is actually steering me just a little bit closer to, wow, maybe I underestimated this when I first had it because you don't have a background, right? If I come to you with my current favorite tequila, but you've never had Blanco before, you've never had tequila, do you go, I don't get it? But if you sampled 100 different tequilas and then you have something, it's like, ooh, this stands out, in the playing field of the rest. Interesting. It's definitely not got the in the nose. It doesn't have the bright vegetal. I'm getting more of the oak, more of an aged scent aroma. Blancos, and what I like about Blancos, they're sort of like crisp and refreshing. This is interesting because this Cristalino is going the direction of more of an aged nose. Like it smells to me more like maybe a reposado, not quite an añejo. It's bright, citrusy. Reminds me of like candied lemon peel, maybe pineapple, cucumber, peppermint. Oh man, this is so strange now because I think when I first had this, I don't think I could appreciate it the same way. I'd been sitting on this bottle for a while, and in fact, there were other tequilas that I did not review because I didn't want to review tequilas that had additives. And this one in particular, I was like, I still had the bottle. I wanted to save enough to be able to do the review. And I can actually appreciate this for what it is a bit more than I could initially. I'm trying to figure out what the notes are, like the nose, because this is not like if you took this and you gave it to me and said this is a blanco. If you did like a totally blind tasting, I think I would be like, whoa, what is? I've never like this is what I would think. I'm like I've never had a blanco that had this. I mean, it's clear. What the? I get a little bit of that Sichuan peppercorn numbness, but when it sat in my mouth on my palate, the first 50% of it extremely smooth. It's almost like water. It just doesn't. Nothing is volatile. Nothing's exploding in my mouth. It's very smooth. And then after I swallow, I get that little touch of spicy, but it's not spicy in the way that Suerte is. Suerte is one of my more favorite blancos. Suerte's got a certain spiciness to it that I really enjoy. This is super interesting now. And I think also when I'm looking at this, I think now also is you got to factor this in, right? Do you want to pay $89 a bottle? There's another tequila that's a blanco that I think I would rank higher than this. These kind of like crystalinos, which I think is their own category where they're filtered. I don't have any problem with it. I mean, I always want you to drink, what you like. If you like blancos and maybe you want to go for something a little more aged, maybe the cristalino would be like a good step. I just kind of wonder, are they using? Okay, how do I say this? Are they using the aging process to transform the texture, flavor, nose to something that is not as good as a Blanco? Or is it just adding to the complexity of the tequila? Because for me, it's like, would you take a bourbon? And I don't know, maybe they do. I mean, Jack Daniels is filtered through charcoal, so maybe maybe there's a reason, but it's like I don't want to take, I hate to say this, an inferior tequila and put additives in it to make it taste a certain way. That's to me that's almost like cheating. The aging process, I'm a little more accepting of because you could take something that maybe wasn't highest quality and maybe it was too spicy and it dampens that because of the aging process in wood, which adds other flavor notes. When I have coffee, I had the Nebelier earlier. The coffee is smooth enough that I finished it black, and the coffee was so smooth that it wasn't overly acidic. It didn't bother my stomach. It's the sort of thing where I personally just seem to prefer the blancos. I just feel like I'm tasting more of the agave. I feel like I'm tasting a piece of Mexico when I have them. Oh man, that's got such a crazy nose. It's interesting. I can put it in its own category. Like it just, I can see where the Cristalino is a different beast. It's just such a strange thing to be able to, like I talked about, I think it was cucumber, pineapple, these different flavor profiles that I don't quite pick up. There's a certain, dare I say, rusticity to Blancos where I feel like, again, like I'm tasting Mexico, I'm tasting it from the agave fields. Now I'm getting like honeysuckle. It's not overly sweet. I don't know. It's interesting. The last 10%, I pick up some woody notes. I pick up some oak probably. Um, Again, it just not within the flavor profile that I really want, and this is just me personally. I think I would go with a Blanco still, but it is interesting to try this and check it out. You can go to their website, which is QUI Tequila tribecaspirits.com. So QUI Tequila, you can look it up online. Go ahead and check them out. Let me know what you think. I think this is a great tequila. I would, I could see buying this again. Um, I just don't feel a particular draw to it though. Yeah, I'm not offended by it in any way. It's just not where I want to go. It's the same thing with a beer, and you have your favorite beer. It's just not a direction that I would want to be drinking going into every day. It's super interesting to do a review this far down the road after I've gotten so many Blancos under my belt. But Key Tequila, you guys can check that out. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you again soon on Salud with Robert Gardner.